G'day folks, and welcome to this third and final part of this playthrough of BIOS Megafauna. We've only got about two turns to go, and then we'll have the final scoring, so let's jump into it. We start with the event phase, and finally we have a dash icon. I spoke about this in the first video. Where you see a dash icon, you don't draw a second event card. So we'll have orange and green in terms of player order. We have some movement, and this is an interesting one. So this is the Gondwana symbol here, and there's a dice on the continent. In fact, I should have removed that last turn, which means that Gondwana shifts, and it's an interesting shift here. I mentioned that this represents a round world, and that this continent here is connected to this continent here. So when this shifts to the right, it's going to be interesting. Latitude 5, we're going to have to do some tricky manoeuvring of the continents. You can see what I'm doing here. Gondwana is going to shift over here and smash into Laurentia, which is going to remove the Laurentia dice. It's going to continue shifting so we can make room for Siberia, which was already connected to Gondwana. So now we have one massive continent, Pangaea, all connected. When they smash into each other, that's already a mountain. This becomes a mountain. It becomes inhospitable. So these poor archetypes become endangered, and they will have to either die or move. This returns to the atmosphere track, and we're back at Eden for now. So there's movement of Gondwana into Laurentia. It's smashed in here, creates some mountains along that line. We have a deluge which removes markers from inland seas. There are none. And then the only other event is the green player removes a white disc from the clouds, which increases their black heart limit, and they place it in the atmosphere, which keeps us in this. Oh, that should not be there. I don't know what that's doing there. Keeps us in the Eden range. So we're now on 3 plant actions, and they do not have much to do. But turn order is orange first. And we finally see some flyers. Now, flyers are a great little species because they can move quite rapidly around the world. What will I do here? We have our worms. So our snails here are pretty much fully populated. They can't do much. They could buy one of these 2 cards with a cost of 0. Our worms here are looking pretty good. And I'm going to do speciate again. So my plan is to buy this card, give myself cardiac muscles. I'm then going to populate this, which in effect is... Oh, actually I can't do that because these are very small locusts. I can call them locusts, the little flies. They only have a size of 1. But I could instead pursue skeletal muscles and do the same thing, because this species of fly has a maximum size of 3, which is the same as the mother. So my flies appear on the board, and as always I have to select one of the mothers of the parent species to replace with a daughter. And now this is amazing, I've got all 5 species on the board. That is returned. Orange is in a very strong position. That's 1 action out of their 4. Let's where are my worms? They're over here. They've got a good movement rate. So let's populate. What else can I do? I really like to get my swimmers out and about. So let's I don't have a lot. I've got 2 swimmers here. So I pop 1 to mutate, 2 to speciate, 3 to populate, 1 action left. Can my worms flood throughout Baltica? What other options do I have here? We're really dominating. Orange is really dominating here. Let's get another dolphin out, why not? So we'll populate our dolphins as well with 1. brings us to green. They have 3 actions shown here. They're in trouble. We replenish this. It's upside down, but hey, look, we can see we can't take this because there's no horror monster icon. We can take this. Wow, okay. Oh no, I've got a 50% discount. It doesn't matter anyway. Oh, I've got 1. I can afford 1. I've got 1 unborn down here. And with a 50% discount, it means I could afford this if I want to. And that's actually good. It gives me a size of 6. So yeah, let's buy this and immediately speciate it. And hooray, finally, in the second last turn, green has a second species. It is that. Maximum size of 6. Ooh. That's not a problem. This would mean that they would have to degrade a yellow organ. They don't have any. They take the same basal organs as the mother, shown here. And we replace one of the mothers with a new baby from the snails. And this is interesting because wherever I place these, they can become a herbivore to this prey, which is unfortunate. Often when you speciate like this, the new species can't be eaten by the old predators in that space. It just so happens that there's a snail there, snail icon there. If I go here, I can eat... No, they've got poisonous... Oh, not... I am larger, so I could eat that poisonous slug. What's that? Is that 1, 2 actions? And for my third and final action, let's try and populate some of these slugs out on the board. Moving to 4. Oh, they're not going to be able to move very far. Oh, I should have copied the basal organs of the parent over here, which is quite big. There's quite a lot of basal organs, 5 basal organs. The black heart limit here for plants is 8. And they've got 5, 5, 2, 5, 5. So we're doing okay. No, you only copy the basal organs of the mother, not the plus organs on all these extra cards. Okay. Oh, I think I've made a mistake there. I should not have a venomous stinger because there's an emotion side there which I couldn't have taken. So I will remove that venomous stinger. That was an illegal move which I missed from earlier. I don't think I even saw the emotion there, which means my archetypes are, well, they're still venomous. So why did I even take that? I don't know. No, they're not venomous yet. Getting confused, forgetting what's happened. Okay. That's 3 actions for green. We have newborns in turn order, so orange goes first, and they're going to try to... They've got a movement of 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. Oh wow! Oh, that's ice. They're going to try and move down here. 1, 2, and they'll see if they can survive here. All right, so let's do the contest. It's a predator contest. Can they both eat the archetype? Let's look at the snails first. Let's look at the archetype. The orange archetype is here. It is poisonous, so they need to be size 3 or larger. They both are. So they both have prey suitability. Now it's a red biome, so whoever has the most red cubes, and it's a tie, 1 and 1. Then we look at prey size. They're both the same size, there's no difference there. The size, the largest wins. Again, they're both the same size. So this is closest to the prey wins. They're both the same size, it doesn't matter. We then go down to skeletal type, and the highest skeletal type for predators wins. Skeletal type is on the base archetype, which is 2. In this case, plants have a disadvantage, so the snail loses. Ouch. Oh, and you know what? Wow, story of the plant player's life. That is their last organ on the board. They're extinct. Before they can get their newborns out, because turn order is orange first, they become extinct. They keep this card as a fossil remnant. That is just unlucky. Unlucky. I did not see that coming. And orange didn't necessarily plan for that extinction. I'm just trying to get some space because now they can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from there, they can go here and eat that archetype. And from here, they can go up there and eat that archetype. Oops, I'm taking the wrong babies. I should have had 2, not 3. Rather, I'm not taking the babies at all. I'm taking the unborns. And I have a dolphin baby, which is going to go moving 5, 1, 2, 3 up there. So more trouble for the green. They finally speciated, and then before they could get their newborns on the board, they were all eaten by the worms. The innocent-looking worms that just have a lot of cubes on them. The only reason they ate them was because they had a larger base archetype size, skeletal size of 2 versus 1 for the plants. So they're kind of a stronger internal structure. We have some other deaths here as well. So the green archetype, into player order, sorry, the orange archetype can't move because it has no white cube, so it dies. And the green archetype can move because it has this white cube, and it can move 3, 4, 5, 6. Where can it move to? Can it eat? Wow, I don't think it can move anywhere. I'm looking around, and I can't see a viable habitat for it. Here's where it is. Keep in mind, it can't eat. It can only eat. It can only become a predator in a place occupied by an orange archetype. So it could become here, but the orange archetype is poisonous, and this isn't. So I think it's going to die as well. So 3 dead green archetypes. You can't cannibalize yourself, so you can't eat yourself. Yeah. All right, folks, heading into the final turn, the final event. It's another dash, so player order is orange-green. Concept doesn't move because there's no dice on it. Every species must remove a green or blue plus organ. We'll remove that plus, or we'll remove the green plus organ because we probably don't need it so much from there. Green or blue plus organ, there are none. This is a base organ. A green plus organ removes that. I don't even know why we have that. I don't know what we're planning to do with it. Green or blue, no plus organs, no plus organs, no plus organs, so we're fine there. Then tidal wave clears off the discs on inland seas, and then we move a black disc from offshore to the atmosphere, which won't change anything. Heading to the final turn, orange going first, and to be honest, there's really not a lot they can do in terms of dominating Earth. What can we do? Well, we can contest the green archetypes now and try and really completely eliminate them. How can we do that? Snails are all out. Wormies, maybe? We'll try and... It's going to be tough. Let's just populate with some worms. 3 worms, populate. We'll get our locusts out. Populate. And we might populate with them again. Populate. I have 1 action left. Let's get the last dolphin out. Populate. So we're just flooding population because these are victory points at the end of the game. Green now with their 3 actions. I can't do anything. They've got 3 points, and this will cost at half price 0, 1, 2, 3. So they can buy anything from the bottom. They can also buy this. 3 actions. Sorry, they can buy these at half price. So 0, 1, 2, 3. They could... I don't know what to do. This will cost 4, which they can't afford. They don't have the horror icons. It's just a terrible story. 1, 2, 3. We could buy this. No, can't buy that. I was thinking about adding the emotion here, but I need a green tail. I have a green tail here. This could be interesting. So I'm going to mutate this, speciate this. Not speciate. Mutate, promote. I now get that green monster icon. Maximum size of 6. This counts as 6 green organs, so we're huge. And 1, 2, and we'll populate. Because it's the last turn. Let's try and get what we can get. They are huge now. I think they count as size. The monster rules confuse me a little bit. And that's it. So look, throwing babies out there. I'm not going to think too much about this because the writing is on the wall. The worms, where can they go? They can't really go far. They can go far. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can eat. They can't eat the archetype because it's poisonous. So I think they're going to die. Or they can contest here, and we'll see what happens. So we do contest. It's a herbivore contest now. There is a predator. They're not edible because you can't eat yourself, so they're dead. Some of the worms die. The dolphins are going to go here. The flyers, well, where can they go? Where were they? They were here. They can fly down here. 1, 2, 3. They can't eat though. They can eat the archetype because they're larger. So we can eat your own archetype. You become a predator. And that's about all they can do. So all the rest of these flyers die. I could contest. Let's try this. What happens if I contest here? Can't be eaten. So it's a herbivore contest. An inedible one wins. So they can't be eaten, so they win, which is interesting. They can't be eaten by the snails. So the snails will become endangered. But I can keep doing this and place another one here. They'll win again. The snail becomes endangered. And pretty sure I can fly up. 1, 2, 3, 4. It just costs 1 to fly over these things. Yep. They're inedible, so they win. They become endangered. And the same thing here. They become they're inedible. They become endangered. And we have wiped out. We have absolutely dominated the green plants. They become extinct. This is quite rare to lose all of your species. They'll go into what's called Lazarus mode, where they can become, they can basically revive, but they lose everything. Everything's gone. They lose all their, absolutely everything. Everything's dead. They should go on the bottom of the pile, but doesn't matter. They lose their emotions. Gone, I think if I've done that right, because they're monstrous. Might be playing that wrong, but I think they're dead. They're extinct. What else happens? So the worms die. It's the end of the game. The snail here can relocate, but has nowhere really to relocate to. Ditto here, so they die. So it was a bit kind of masochistic. They're kind of killing their own types just to kind of wipe off green. But as you can see, the world is dominated by orange. Final score then. Green has 1, 2, 3 victory points. Orange has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 30 to 3. I will point out this is my first time playing the plants, and I made some horrific mistakes early on. Shouldn't populate so early. 30-3 animal victory. The hydroskeletal invertebrates win over the cytoskeletal oophyta, the plants. The animals have won, and they dominate the world. What this represents is dominant fossil records throughout these biomes. There were basically so many of these animals species dominant that they left so many fossil records for us to dig up and find and learn about. Folks, that is Bios Megafauna. As I said, it plays very differently in a 2, 3 and 4 player game. There is even more conflict in 3 players, even more conflict in a 4 player game. As you can see, you really need to think carefully about what you are mutating towards, what you're striving towards, how you're speciating. You don't want to populate too early. That was a big lesson learned from this, particularly as a plant player. You need to use your currency to build a powerful plant before you populate, and speciate as well. So you can see how the success that Orange had with speciating. Folks, check it out if it's of interest. It's part of a trilogy. I have not played the other 2 games in the trilogy, but from what I can gather, they play somewhat similarly in terms of sort of actions and card play. It's a Phil Eklund design, and there's a lot of sort of similarity in the Eklund games. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and take care.